What is happening, everyone? Welcome, welcome, welcome. PulseChain, boy, thing go up, community go up. I've seen some price action go up. I like it. I like it a lot. Crypto Bindo. Do you think PulseX parity is in the cards in a few weeks? What was it? I can see into the ratio of it's a PulseX against Pulse has been steadily up. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's been a theme for a while now. So PulseX gaining on Pulse. I mean, I don't know about parity 1-to-1. I mean, that'd be interesting to see. I think we still got looks like a ways to go from that, but I think there has been a steady gain. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I'm not trying in front of me right now, but oh boy, this place is fun. It's been very fun the last week or so. Great price action as well. Best intro. I think I have one of the top. I would say top three. I like. I'll say I like Money Gang's original intro. I mean, his new intro is great too, but the one that was gotta pump it up, gotta like that 2 or 3 minute one. That was great. That was one of my all-time favorites. And then DCC is like it's like a 10-minute deal of several different clips together. I think rotating, and it's pretty good too. But yeah, I like my intro. I'll say that. I'm with you. I like it. Fist pump. Let's do it. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Hexagon, Lost in Asia. Rapid unbox. Good to see you. Good to see you. Logie 33. How's it going? Let's go. Let's see those. Let's see those candles. Let's see those rockets. Tam Tam, how's it going? Mike L. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the channel. He says the best intro and the longest. It is the longest. I'll say it's one of my favorites as well. Pretty good. Trump buying Ethereum is not bullish. That's the top signal. I don't know. I mean, what if he was buying it before he thinks it's going to go up? That's what one speculation would be, which is pretty believable as well. So I want to get a couple things to talk about. Get your questions in the chat if you have them, because we will not be here forever. Great thread. Great thread from Gerardo here. Richard Hart coins just underwent an ecosystem-wide supply shock in the last few days. Feels good, man. I like it. Pulse burning more coins, PulseX volume increasing, Hex happening, ink triple happening in one day. No, the ink is still pretty crazy, pretty amazing. By the way, if you want to see pretty cool, I think the Pulse posted as well the how to see the so this one, let me pull this up real quick. One sec. So this one that said less reward, less LP, more volatility. And then under this, under Pulse Alerts, ink reward updated 0.1 second. Oh, okay, this is not the one. Hold on just a second. There's one where you can see it on the Block Explorer. So at a technical level, which is pretty interesting. I didn't even think about, like, some of these things, it's just hard to, I mean, you see it some places, and I've got a bunch of different like technical links and how to figure some of this stuff out, but where was it? I know I bookmarked it. One sec. Hang on just a second. Wow, that's annoying. Why? I gotta search for it. Hold on. Hallelujah. Here we go. This one. Well, that was so hard to find. So on the Block Scout, looks like a Block Scout instance set up here on the app hex.win. It's got, I mean, go to it on the Scan Explorer too. But this is the contract address, MasterChef contract, which does some PulseX ink stuff. So if you go there and you go to contract and read contract, if you go to ink per second, if you go to ink per second and click weigh and see it in pulse, you can see 0.1 ink per second. So that's how you can see, get some stats on that. So there you go. Pretty cool. Shout out to well Pulse for that, Pulse Alerts. Always cool to see like where you can actually see this information. There's other stuff on there too. You could see different parts about the contract and pieces to pull info owner. And then what was the other one? There was one where you could see the pools. I wonder if I have that. I'll try to save these so you'll be able to see it. Set ink per second. Yeah, you can see where the owner here is set, changed ink per second 1 day ago, transaction hash there. And if you look at that transaction, does it show the actual parameters? A few details. Yeah, so it must be this, so 0.1 here or so. Pretty cool. Yeah, it used to be 1 per second. And then, wow, look at that. Yeah, I guess it was, so set, add, did it, can we see if it's did the, I don't mean to go into like the blockchain analysis, the baby blockchain analysis side here, 2 years ago. Amazing. Yeah, around launch time, this thing was launched, and this reset the ink from 1 to 0.1, looks like 1 day ago. Exciting times on the greatest chain on earth, blockchain. Let's say blockchain.com, pulsechain.com. Anyways, that was the ink triple happening. The large reduction in rewards there, which I think if you caught the stream on Friday with Briss and CryptoKong, I don't know. I'm still like deep breath. I'm like, this is an interesting narrative change. We've got before. It's like, oh, come here for yield. Look at the hex yield. Look at the PulseX yield. Look at the farms. And now all that went down. Monetary policy has changed, which I hope to talk more about next week as well. Have some people on. But yeah, that's does it go from yield to price? That's something I talked about recently as well. Focus go from yield to price. Does that mean price go up? If yield go down, does that mean price go up? Scarcity good. We'll see. Anyways, back to this thread. Shout out to Gerardo, by the way. Since PulseChain is an Ethereum fork, it pays inflation to validators. Recent launch of Pump.tires introduced mechanisms that burn PLS via meme point speculation. 450K burned in less than a week. There's a look into pump.tires.com. What? How did I miss this? Okay, wow. Did Gerardo do this one too? He did look into RH. I'm going to assume he did this one too. Yeah, it was. Gerardo, always out there creating value. A lot of value. A lot of cool stuff. That's cool. So you can see the contract balance, average burn, yearly projection. Nice. I like it. Always with some beautiful colors and layout. So very cool stuff. Very cool stuff, Gerardo. So look into pump.tires.com. All right. Helps offset inflation that PulseChain uses to pay validators, as riding the yield for PLS validators around 10%. Since only about $1.5 trillion Pulse are staked, PulseChain's inflation rate on user-owned supply, excluding OA, is roughly almost 1% per year. Less than 1% inflation per year, even before pump.tires. Awesome. Yeah, that's pretty good. I do like that. We'll be surprised to see PLS start burning more than it's printing, making it deflationary and thus scarcer over time. Burn, baby, burn. If you go to apex.win/chain, we could see a lot of burning, a lot of deflation, disinflation. I forget the technical term for that one, but yeah, look at this. Look at this. Starting in November, late November, we started burning. See the supply change? instead of go up, go down. Look at the burning. I don't remember seeing this. Again, so many streams in this time, a year and a half of in between here, barely saw some burn days here and there, not too much. But in the beginning, I was like, oh man, look at all the burning, look at all the volume, look at all the stuff there too. But you can see, look at this pattern. What was the price here? More than it was today. I will say that. Got up to around 2.5 SAC price. Somewhere through there for PLS. Almost SAC price for Pulse, maybe touched it. What was Hex back then? More than today, I would imagine. Let me know. Good stuff. Any coin that graduates from pumped out tires immediately gets deployed on PulseX v2, since PulseX burns PLSX with every swap made on it. Any volume directly benefits PulseX and its scarcity. Not only this, PulseX doesn't inflate, only burn. I love this. I love bringing out these things that get so lost in the red candles. They're like, oh, but no, the price did go down. And it's like, when the price go up, it may go up really, really hard because designed well by dev. So I like that this is getting brought out. Again, easy to be like, price down, I've been waiting long enough, all that stuff. I would prefer to be in the scenario of believing the ecosystem, looking at the design that's really good, and being in the position to make hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of X's. Because it makes sense. I'm a very makes sense, guy. It makes a lot of sense to me. Can I predict it? No. Can I guarantee it? No. But does it make sense? Would I be surprised? Would it be unreasonable if it didn't happen? Those are all yeses, in my opinion. Not financial advice, of course. Number 4, Hex. OA's recent move of staking hundreds of billions Hex on both PulseChain, Ethereum, and PulseChain was effectively a monetary policy decision for the Hex ecosystem. Now that 60% of all Hex is staked on each chain respectively, the yield for staking Hex is only around 6% APY, dominated in Hex, of course. This number is closer than that of traditional yield instruments. Large Hex holders who do weekly, monthly rolling stakes, and any staker for that matter, will now have less Hex to dump on your head when their stakes come due. This is good. Again, the yield go down, but does this monetary policy change a good thing for the ecosystem for what could be upcoming events? I hope so. Hopefully some upcoming Super Bowl events. Like Super Bowl. There you go. Inc. RH's incentive token, Inc. is used to reward LP farmers on PulseX, provide liquidity, stake your tokens, receive Inc. easy. Ever since launch, Inc.'s emission rate has been 1 Inc. per second. This rate has just been slashed 10x all the way down to 0.1 Inc. per second. This directly slashed all the PulseX LP yield farming down to 1%, down 1% to 10% depending on the pair. These yield numbers now look more sane and closer to that legacy yield instruments. This move reduced LP providers' incentive to provide liquidity, less liquidity, more volatility, easier price movements. It'll be interesting to see what users decide to put in now that their stablecoins and ETH are liquid on PulseChain. It will definitely be interesting to see what happens with the farms. Will some have moved to validators? Basically a place to put money, the least risky place to put money with the most yield. A lot of times what people are looking for in that direction. I really don't know what's going to happen. I'm excited to see though. Again, this is a whole shift. The whole thing of like, oh, we're going to, this is we can totally sell people on yield. And now it's like, well, we can hopefully we'll totally be able to sell people on green candles now. Because the yield part, unless you're really in it for the long term, is not going to attract you to come here and make some quick money. It doesn't appear to be, at least on the core products. So very interesting to see that. Or will it? Again, who knows will this be short term? Will it be long term? Will it just be something to be tested? Will it flip? How long will it last? If we do 100x across the core coins, will it flip back? Monetary policy change. All right, cool. Now more yield because maybe people don't want to sell right now because they're they're trying to get even more gains and that stuff too. They've become believers again, or for the first time. You can't soy. It's a pretty good quote from Richard. You can't soy your way out of supply and demand. What you're doing, obviously, is working pivot, kill inflation. That was for the talking about ETH, Vitalik. Pretty interesting. 5. I guess that's the end of it. There we go. Great thread from Gerardo. Really, really like that. I mean, just look at this. Like, so good. Anyway, good chat. So we'll flow back over here. Hex. Oh, must miss it on top. Number 1 today in the chat is Hexual Chocolate. Love that name. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Crispy is in the chat. I got 3, 5, 5, 5, 5. So I like that. Blobfish King. Good day, everyone. How's it going? Let's go. Hope you talk a little bit about validators and fees. Yeah, do you have any specific questions on validator fees? I mean, I definitely like validators. You can set up your own. You can, those community projects, so like 2 or 3 different community projects where you can, I guess you could say, delegate your stakes. You can get like a liquid staking type deal. I've covered some of them on the show before as well. But the big question around validators is, for the 45K, we had around 50K, I think a few months ago. We hit 50K, maybe a little bit over. And then some of them exit. Was there something to exit? Was there an event? I can't remember. I remember the number went down a little bit. I can't remember if it was going to other places or not, or if anyone had any speculation data on that. But yeah, if you go to Go Roll DeFi, click validators. If you want to set up your own, if you want to delegate it, there's other, like I said, community services, do your research. Check that out if you want to as well. If you don't want to set it up, being a nerd and writing validator scripts and answering every question. If there is a question that hasn't been answered on validators, there's not a video or a tweet thread or a long explanation for, let me know. If you don't see something thoroughly explained either on video or ex post content, let me know what it is, because either I have it and you haven't seen it yet, to which I could find you I could probably find it for you, or look for it too and make sure it's available, or I can talk about that and do some research and figure it out too. Love to talk about it. I just feel like I've talked about it at all at this point. And anyone wants to come on and talk about setting up Validator and doing stuff? I had a lot of guests on before doing it. I had Gamma on, Dip Slayer, had a few different people on. Again, people doing delegated validating with was Validator X and Project Pi. And I think Jex's was their Vouch. I've invited Jex on the show too, so I don't know, maybe at some point he'll come on and talk about Vouch and their system as well. So there's like at least a handful of different projects for the liquid staking option as well. But you can run one at home. You can buy your hardware. You can, or you can buy hardware specifically for it. You can run on your own hardware. You can run it in the cloud. There's all these trade-offs I've talked about as well. And yeah, I've any specific questions, let me know. If I haven't answered up, if I haven't talked about it already, I would be actually interested if there's something I haven't talked about yet for it that people are wondering about. Let me know, because I'm always intellectually curious and want to help people understand validators as far as all the content stuff goes. So fun stuff there. Look at that. Number pretty good. Globe pretty good too. Vicornia, will more farms be open on PulseX with case dismissal or single staking from some of the OA big holdings? All speculation. Yeah, I don't know. More farms open on the case dismissal. I'm not sure the case dismissal or the case being ongoing is preventing new farms, unless you have some ideas there. And then I don't think there's any farms we haven't seen because of that. Single side staking we haven't seen single side staking. That is something a lot of people talk about, speculate could happen. I think we had it on testnet, one of the testnets for PulseX before. Again, will it happen? We've heard Rager's opinion on it. I've talked about it before. Unclear. but it's one feature that doesn't currently exist. We'll say that. And yeah, who knows if it'll be from what well it'll be, whether it's OA or Godwell comes in with a ton of coins or anyone else. So hard to say. If you hop in here, Yelders, how's it going? Welcome. Exciting times right around the corner. I think so. Just 2 more weeks. Just 2 more weeks. I think around which corner, how long to get to that corner, and how far we stay there, nobody knows. But at some point, I think fireworks go bang. It may happen slowly and steadily over time. You might not even notice it till it really kicks in. But or it could all happen in 50 days. Who knows? Centurion 54X, how's it going? Welcome. Free Speech News. Good evening. Good evening, you as well, Doug. Which on will 10x first? Did you mistype which coin? Which coin will 10x first? I'm going to go with that, unless you correct it. I don't know. That's actually a question. I don't want to predict anything, but if you were just to ask me which coin do I think will 10x first out of the core coins, Hex, Pulse. I'm just going to go with the 4 because I don't know. We can include eHex if you want. I mean, are we including most now? Is most, or we do have 6 core coins? I don't know. Who knows? If we just go with the ones on the traditional 4 core coins on PulseChain, let's just narrow it down to that. Just because if we just talk about those, I don't know. That's a good question. If we look at the 7-day, it's been a pretty good week. 18% up for Pulse, almost 40% PulseX, 65.9% Ink, and Hex up 30%. Oh, I don't know. I feel like it's between which one will 10x first. I don't. Pure speculation. Maybe Hex or Ink. I feel like these two have some power behind them. As far as like the leverage piece and just the ability to just thrive piece. You got the history piece, you got the holders piece. I mean, I like Pulse and PulseX too, but I don't know. I feel like these two are the two I think. I wouldn't be surprised if they have the most volatility and hopefully to the upside. Yeah, that's the best I got. Pure speculation. March is close. Bloom's coming for crypto. Ooh, I hope it's a great March here in the episode. Green candles greater than yield. Looking back after this, let's say in a few weeks or a few months or so, we get a 14,000x. Looking back, probably a lot of stuff would be pretty obvious, but if you can't predict the future, it's hard to know these things. It'll be interesting though. Yeah, good point. I'm telling you, people like yield too. I like yield. I like putting my money someplace that I'm probably not going to lose it and getting paid to do it. But you'd also say, why are you getting paid for that? Not enough risk. Like there's all these counter arguments too. Just because I like it doesn't mean it's a good monetary policy. Just like, hey, let's just go print a bunch of money and make all crypto just go to, let's make Bitcoin 10,000x and the dollar's worthless. Like, would it feel good if you're holding Bitcoin? Sure it would. You look around and the world's burning though. That could be a different story. Good morning, crypto class. How's it going? So yeah, lots of different perspectives there. Anytime. Hexasians in the house. How's it going, Hexasians? Welcome, Hexasians. Silver Sailor playing there. How's it going? Good to be here tonight. Yeah, you know what? I was thinking about Saturday night. I don't know who's going to be. Yeah, Saturday night. And I don't know who's going to be around. I don't know if I'm going to have people watch or not, but I'm going to talk about some PulseChain being on fire. And let's see who wants to talk about it. Not for too much longer. Maybe about 5 more minutes. 5.555 more minutes. All is well, Max, everyone. All pretty well, man. All is pretty well, doing pretty good. Appreciate it. RSRH5555. Hexagon PulseChain for win. I want Hexagon PulseChain to do a 10,000x. I want that. I would like to see that happen. What about Ink as a voting token? I don't know. I think, again, there's nothing not on the table, I guess, as far as features go. I've talked about before, you got single sign staking, we got stablecoin piece to it too. So if you go to exchange, I'll just pull up the stablecoin. It's around 10%. I think it's 11% last time I looked at it too. So stablecoin yield. That's what I was asking the other day too. Like, will this go up? Will people start, what if we start getting a ton of, if the highest percentage yield on the PulseChain core products, the core platforms, what is it? We got validators around 10%. You got stablecoins, I believe around 10% if this loads. Because Hex is what it goes up and down based on the bigger pays better, long pays better, all this stuff. But I think it's around 4 or 5% for maybe a 1 year stake or so. And then the PulseX, you're only getting on the farms like up to not even 10%. I think it's like 5% is the biggest one. Let's see. Oh, no, some of these went up. Oh, so maybe some of the was there exiting? Because these are around 12% for USDC and for Wrapped USDC and Pulse. These were all less than 10% the other day, I'm pretty sure. So we got a few 10% here. So you got validators around 10%, farms around 10%, and what did it say? Stablecoins around 10%. Yeah, 11 point. So between 10 and 12% for those three are the highest yield of the core platforms on PulseChain. Yeah, Pulse, Hex. Can't do anything with PulseX yet. If it comes, right, single sign staking. It just gets burned, which is still pretty cool. Bought and burned. And Ink. So, I don't know. 369 watching, by the way. That's what StreamYard says, at least. Shout out 369. I don't know. Where is the... Wow, that is pretty interesting to think about. This is the first time I've actually tried to think of all the different yield places for the core coins. They're all sitting around 10. Yeah, 10 to 12%. What a reasonable monetary policy. What happens if price go way up? We shall see. Doggy says, is all this inflation stuff programmed in? Yeah, so good question. So, you have the Hex contract, again, immutable, obviously. So, but that can fluctuate. The inflation, yeah, percentages, all that stuff. All that's contract code immutable. But the dynamics of the system, when you have more people staking, less people staking, all that stuff, that can change what that can affect the numbers and stuff as well. But on the PulseX side, with the farms, so farms can be added and removed, and the Ink inflation rate can be adjusted, as we saw. And then on PulseChain, you have the validators running the client software, consensus. If they're, you have that, those things are based on, hey, are we going to run the network? And there could be, I've talked about this before, they could be hard forks, soft forks, like all these things can happen. And it'll be interesting to see if we have, if we go in a totally different direction, if we reduce validator yield and some validators I'm not happy with that. What happens? Do we have a fork on the network, or is there going to be a PulseChain Classic and stuff too? So a lot of the stuff programmed in, everything can be changed. So here's a nuance about immutability too. What happens when a contract has a bug, inflation bug, whatever? Yeah, it's immutable. You can't change the contract. Okay, but you can launch a new token. So if you remember Richard talking about, all these networks are socially enforced networks. They're socially enforced mechanisms, all that stuff. It is, at the end of the day, it is like, if there's even if it's a mutable contract, if you get people to move to a new contract, then isn't that the real product again? Like, isn't that the new real product? Is that the new, whatever it is? So, yeah, I think it's really interesting to even thinking about decentralization, immutability, all that stuff. There are these nuances around it where a lot of stuff is like, hey, if we agree that's the way it is, that's the way it is. We don't have to use the old code anymore if we want to use the new code type of thing. That's how you do, there's different kind of upgradable contracts, I think, too. There's a category and with different proxy stuff and all that stuff too. But yeah, a lot of it is, you can just launch a new contract. And then if everyone chooses to use it, then does it matter what the old one, there's all these different stuff. So good question. Some stuff is immutable and you need to, it's like, maybe, I guess the way I think about it is there's stuff that's harder to change and easier to change. Everything can be effectively changed, whether it is like, whether the code is changed or not, the situation and the use case and the upgradability, it's either harder or easier to do type of thing. That makes sense. Shall we try Kanye to make a meme coin? Engage on the X free. I did a poll recently. I'll pull it up about who's the next celebrity launch meme coin. I did not tag Kanye. Did not tag Ye on that. However, other people were. See what you all think. I'll wrap up after this. Which celebrity will be the first to launch a meme coin on PulseChain? So we got Trump, Melania, Andrew Tate, or Iggy Azalea. Those are, I think I just looked up like, what are the top 4 meme coins? And these were the top 4, I believe. Give me an answer, chat. Which one? And I'll click it and we can see the results before we take a break here. Let me do the elevator music. Dum, 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 dum. There we go. Boom. Crypto class. Tate. Good choice. Seems like most people that have answered the poll so far agree with you. Could be. Who knows? If he starts tweeting about PulseChain, it's like, I'm launching daddy on PulseChain. It's like, why I know the name of these coins, I do not know. But I think I know the name of all these coins. Well, they're the people's names, except this one's daddy and this one's, is it mother? I think something like that. Yeah, could be Trump. Who knows? A World Liberty Fi. I've heard they know about PulseChain, or there's at least rumors, and then they have money on PulseChain. So if you look at World Liberty, did I look this up? Is this the one? Where's the address? Is it this one? If you go to gopulse.com/start, type it in. Yeah, they got like 90K of SolidX, some PDI, some Hex, eHex on there, a little bit of Pulse. Now for a transaction or two, well, I don't know now. Like transactions are expensive apparently. Network being used, good problems to have, but yeah, talked about this. Good. All right, I'm about to wrap up. I can't get to all the comments and questions. Last one, Pulse Fuse and Hey Max, is it me or the farm's higher than you mentioned? Can you clarify which ones you're talking about? Champ is my desktop. I see USD PLS at 122%. Just looking at the farms. Are you using the app? Did they add the inflation to this, by the way. Hey, new version of PulseX. I was going to say, like, how they add it without doing a new version. Here we go. 112. See, I didn't even know. Go Real DeFi is set up in a way, it automatically upgrades these things. When there's a new official version, it does this stuff. I thought I'd turn, I turned MetaMask off. By the way, are you even able to report this thing again? Please, somebody tell MetaMask to, oh my gosh, hold on. Somebody, I don't want to go to MetaMask. I have to disable this again. Hold on. Okay. I can actually use the site. Oh, so annoying. Okay. If you see that there's a way to report it as incorrect, false, positive, just do it. Anyways, back to me being excited about getting to learn new versions when I'm just like clicking around. I didn't even know. I didn't upgrade the site. I didn't do anything myself. It automatically checked the official website to see if there was a new version of the PulseX app and automatically updated the page and stuff on the exchange part, PulseX.pulsexapp.com, automatically updated it to point to the latest version. I think it checks like every 10 seconds or something. So I didn't even know there was a new version of PulseX. Frictionless. And I can just click and I can use PulseX app and not have to download new stuff or anything. I will say that the coolest downloaded piece is the Pulse. If you do like to download this stuff, if I were going to use the downloads, I would use the PulseChain dashboard project, which is pretty cool. So because it has like I think it has either automatic updates or you can just download stuff there and you don't have to like set it up yourself. I think that's a pretty good user experience, but I just prefer to use IPFS. Anyways, I didn't touch anything. It automatically saw that, oh, there's a new version. Let me make sure all that works. So I tried to set it up to be as frictionless as possible. Boom. And that's why we see inflation rate right here. This is interesting though. So if they added the inflation rate right here, does that mean, like, why do we need to know about that? Does that mean it's going to change more often? Does that mean we could see it change? Like, because like, why would, that's such like obscure, nobody wants to know that. Like nobody, you kind of like want to know it and then you don't expect it to change very often. So that's interesting that it's even there, because that my instinct is like, oh, I'm going to need to look at that in the future because it may change. So I'll know the inflation rate and whether, I can base that on the decision to participate in the farmer's market. So anyways, back to the question. It's me, the farm's higher. Make sure, first of all, look at your version, whatever you're looking at, make sure it is the latest. I'm not sure if it will show differently if it's not the latest on this particular piece, but make sure it is. And when I'm looking at it, I see this APR. So the highest one I see is 12.23% on the USD pair. So if you're seeing 122%, is that, I feel like the decimal is, maybe the numbers are off in some way. I'm not sure, but I'll definitely check that out before and make sure you're running on the latest app and stuff like that. Again, Go Real DeFi, it's always looking at the official websites. It's saying, hey, what's the official one? PulseX. It's like looking at the metadata. You can see it right here. If you go to version.json, it's looking at this, it's pulling this and saying, oh, is there a new version? If so, update stuff, make sure it works. So there you go. Pretty cool. What's the best app to confirm or update? Which is the best app? So I use GoRealDeFi.com and it automatically updates. Like I said, I'm looking at the latest version already, and I can tell that by clicking verify hash. You can verify the security and all that stuff too, and automatically updates. So look in the top left corner of your version of PulseX and make sure, try to be using the latest version, so it won't show you stuff that may be incorrect if you're using a different version. Hope that helps though. You can download it, you can use IPFS, you can use Go Real DeFi, all that stuff too. All right, everyone, that's all I got. Catch replay, gang. Appreciate you all. Have a great rest of your weekend. If I don't see you before, we'll see you. Should have a stream next week, Monday, Tuesday. If not one tomorrow. Have a great weekend, though, everyone. Scivive 5555. We are out.